I'm singing even though I can't sing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your host, Jake Rubel. And with me, fortunately for all of you, is the wonderful and beautiful, amazing nurse and mental health specialist for her husband,
Chia Rubel.
You're going to go with the full name this time?
I'm going with full name.
Because earlier you just said Chia.
That's right.
Okay, so
I felt the need to be a little more professional.
You're gonna be profesh.
all on that extra stuff.
You know. So this is our second attempt at recording tonight. We did record about 20 minutes, about, half hour ago. And we had to stop for multiple reasons. One, people keep coming to our door.
Yeah.
As if this is a new thing. It's like, this is a professional studio.
We need to get a sign on the door.
We need to get a red light, like whenever Uncle Jesse had his recording studio in the basement on Full House.
Oh, I forgot
And there was a red light. Did you forget about that?
I really
You forgot about the
did.
Full House thing?
I did.
I'm disappointed.
It was at the top of the steps in the kitchen, wasn't it?
I think we just need a red light. We need an Uncle Jesse light, and that's what I'm going to call it. Yeah, it's a great idea. Also, I'm in a weird place mentally. I talked about it last week. I'm in a funk. And I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to do a lot of things to get out of it. I did for a couple days.
Yeah.
I think up until this morning, I think I was out of it. And so last Sunday, I was about mid-afternoon. I kind of started dealing with some anxiety. Got pretty rough. And then lasted until I think probably Thursday. And then it went away thanks to Chia. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And then this morning it came back. So I'm dealing with it. I'm fighting it. I'm not going to let it win. I feel like it's anyone who's ever dealt with any kind of anxiety and depression and stuff like that knows that it does not matter how long you are depression free or you don't deal with anxiety. At some point it comes back.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It's I hate it. I hate that it does. But you know what? It's just another hurdle. It's another obstacle. We're going to get past it. So we were recording, and I got sensitive, and me and Chia started arguing on the podcast. And I know you guys like that, but we don't.
You guys heard, the big fight. You were more hearing, the aftermath. You didn't hear the actual fight. No one wants to hear the actual fight.
Because it was literally while we were recording. Like, we were recording and you guys hear us all the time. We have this fun back and forth banter, which is what makes us have a great relationship. It's why I really, really love that my best friend is my wife. But you know those times where your best friend takes it too far? Or your best friend is being a whiny baby sissy la-la? That just happened. We were just making dumb jokes back and forth, and unfortunately, I got my feelings hurt, and was just like, why are we even doing this? And it got pretty real for a second.
I had to tell him to stop recording, because for a while I was like, oh, he's kidding, and then I was like, I think
is this getting real?
Mad at me.
And I wasn't yelling. There was no yelling. It was just more of we could feel
your vibe changed, and I was like, well, this isn't fun no more.
So we shut it off, and then I had a good 20-minute meltdown on just basically being like, this isn't right. This is messing up. I'm worried about this, and just kind of mentally unloaded for 20 minutes, and just being the wonderful wife that she is. She listened, and then at the very end of it, she was real nice. The whole conversation was very sweet to me. And then at the end, she kind of slapped me.
I did not.
She mentally slapped me. She was basically just like, look, this is the way it is. This is what's going to happen. This is why you feel like this, and this is why it's going away. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Let's do this podcast. So yeah, that's, and I feel bad because there was some good stuff in there. There was some good stuff.
Okay.
We'll see if it maybe it'll organically come back. I don't know. It might.
Maybe.
I just belched and it tasted like spaghetti.
Ew. When'd you have spaghetti?
Not any time.
Maybe it was the olives.
I bet you're right.
Ugh.
Wait, what does olives have to do with spaghetti?
I don't know.
I felt
Olive
like that was.
oil, spaghetti.
I think that was almost racist.
No, it wasn't racist.
Olives, Italian. Wait, no, olives are Greek, aren't they?
I don't know.
You know what? They're universal. Olives for all of us.
There you go.
Olives, all of us.
Look
Come
at
on.
that. And that's why an olive branch symbolizes peace.
Because it's peace for all of us.
There you go.
You realize you have multiple college degrees and you're married to me.
I love you.
At what point is that gonna not be enough? Oh man, I feel
never.
Are you married? I'm a toddler. I think I have so many weird issues. Oh man. So I'm glad that we're back on track, Chia. Mm-hmm. Are you glad?
I'm so glad.
I'm upset about some stuff. So I do want to talk about one thing.
Okay.
Because we brought it up, and it won't organically come back up, and it was nice that it did. The previous time.
Okay. Don't know what this is.
You had made a point to say that we hibernate.
Or we should hibernate.
Because I said I'm in a funk.
Yes.
I started talking about just being in a funk, feeling weird, feeling just out of it. I'm not really with it, and I don't like it. And there's a whole bunch of reasons that I think will go into why I feel like this week. One of which is that I just had my birthday, and I don't care about getting older. It's nothing like that. But for some reason, I do feel like that around my birthday, the weather's rough. It's nasty outside. Mm-hmm. It's usually at a time that we're kind of money's a little tight for us and stuff like that. This year wasn't so bad like that. Mm-hmm. There's just usually like a bunch of things like stacked up against us on my birthday, and for some reason I always feel like I'm just in a weird place.
Yeah.
And you said that you feel like we should just hibernate.
Yeah, I think we should be like bears and hibernate.
Yeah, and I think we should be. So then I asked you, what kind of bear do you think I'd be?
I said a grizzly bear.
Yeah, which I think is probably appropriate.
Right.
But like not a full-grown grizzly bear.
No, I think you're a full-grown.
I'm not
grizzly.
that tall.
Well, I guess that's true. But you
don't have to agree with me on that.
Grizzly bears are like 9 feet tall or taller.
You don't think I could be that if I wanted?
No.
Oh, well, there goes so much for you can do anything you want, babe. What happened to that conversation? Where's that Chia? Bring her
anything
back in the
you
conversation.
Humanly want.
You know, and I told you, I think that the bear you are is a koala bear. And I'm right on that. I do think that you are a koala bear. And I made you look up wet koala bears.
Yeah. Look up wet koala bears because I didn't expect that at all.
Wet koala bears are nightmare fuel.
They're terrifying.
They are so scary.
And wet grizzlies are super cute.
They look like they're about to go clubbing.
And they get up to 8 feet tall. Sorry.
8 feet?
Yeah.
See, I can almost reach that if I wanted to. I'm 5'9". I'm not getting any bigger. This is it. I'm shrinking from here. If I'm 5'9" now, that means that whenever I die, I'm probably going to be like, what, 5'6"?
Maybe. 5'7".
5'7"?
Yeah, most like the old men I take care of, when I ask how tall they are, they'll tell me something. They'll be like, I used to be, and it's only usually an inch or two taller than what they told me.
Man, I don't want to be a used to be guy. I don't want to be like, I used to be 5'9", because then it's like, well, that's still average. That's still not tall. I don't want to brag about being how short, like I used to be just a normal short fella.
You'll be a cute old
Do you
man,
think
though.
whenever I get old, I'll start talking old-timey? Or is it...
You will, because you'll be talking like you talk now, and at the time that you're old, it'll now be old-timey.
You might have just made a fact.
I did.
But you don't think that I'll go like old-timey to where it's like, well, look here, young fella?
No,
You know, like, so you think whenever
because
I'm old...
things will circle back around, and that's how people are going to talk.
But I'll just be like, look here, dude. And they're going to be like, you sound so old. I'll be like, bro, listen. And they're going to be like, you're so old.
Yeah.
I'm not your brother. I'm your grandson. And I'm like, that's not what it means. Oh, man. Yeah, so wet koala bears are terrifying. They're terrifying. They are what nightmares are made of. Chia, do you know what the opposite of a nightmare is?
I'm pretty sure it's just a regular dream.
This is where the fight started. We got to this point.
Kitchen's built around this for some reason, and I don't know why.
It's my fault. I'll take 100% of the blame.
No.
It's our fault. Mostly yours.
Well, I don't want blame put on me.
Oh,
on.
man. The opposite of a nightmare is a dream.
Yes.
That's not what you said earlier.
No.
What do you think?
I don't know. Okay, so the opposite of a nightmare?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be like a really, really good dream?
Because you think that a nightmare is just a bad dream.
No, I think there's good dreams and bad dreams. And then I think there's nightmares. Like, I've had bad dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've had nightmares.
This isn't what you said earlier.
No.
I changed your mind and you're not letting the audience know.
No, it's...
Yeah, because
no.
I said...
No, you said a dream is the opposite. I said because... Wait, stop. Because... no, I know what I said. You're not going to trick me.
I'm not trying to trick you. I'm being 100% honest.
There's a dreams.
You said nightmares are just bad dreams.
No, I didn't.
I can pull... I still have the audio.
Okay, we'll listen to it later.
Okay.
Because that's not what I meant, though. I said... Because you said dreams are the opposite of nightmares.
And I agree.
And I said no. Because,
With myself.
Then I said no, because then how can you have bad dreams? I think a dream is just a broad spectrum of everything.
Okay.
When you go to sleep,
It's just
whatever
a
goes
dream.
on in your head, that's a dream. Now, it can either be a good dream or bad dream, or it can escalate even further and be a nightmare or a...
Wet dream? Is that what you're going
I don't know
with?
what else the opposite of a nightmare
You know,
is,
I was
so-
not on board with you until you just said that.
Yeah.
And now I'm
So-
like, oh, so technically the opposite of a nightmare is a wet dream?
I don't know what else would be.
The problem with that is the analogy doesn't work as a segue now, because it's creepy. And if anyone knows me, they know I'm not a creeper. I'm sweet.
But no, but what
For sake of the show, Chia,
What?
do you know what the opposite of a nightmare is?
What?
It's a dream.
Okay.
And there's people making dreams come true every day.
It's just a good dream, though.
just a normal 1950s dream. Just a normal 1950s sitcom dream. Because in the 50s, they couldn't show anything worse, right? This is just a normal Leave It to Beaver. Every day, you're not nervous about it the next day. You're not worried about talking about it at the water cooler. Just a normal dream.
Just a dream.
People make dreams come true is what I'm trying to
That's
get
right.
at. I'm worried about this segue, and I'm not going to do it now.
Do it.
Should we? I have to think of another segue.
Okay.
It's just because at this point it's bordering creep.
No, it's not.
It wasn't, but then and the issue is that you're the one who said it,
Did I do
and
it?
I'll still come off as the creep in this part.
Because you're the one who made the connection.
But I was trying to get you to set this up, and next time
Oh.
maybe I should tell you. But I think it's funnier if I don't.
What's funny
and now
is
I regret it.
I should have known because we
This
already
is
did it.
and we fought over it. And now you're just like, oh yeah, let's.
But I didn't get a chance. Like, I thought it in my head the whole time, the opposite of a nightmare. But I didn't get a chance to say it.
Do you know what the opposite of a jackhammer is?
What?
Someone who just builds roads.
Yeah.
No, that's a horrible analogy. That doesn't make any sense. That one doesn't even make any sense. See what happens when I have to think on the spot? I have to think on the spot. Do you know what the opposite of demons are?
Angels.
They're angels, of course.
Yeah.
And there's angels that have blessed us, and I'd like to talk about
There
them
we
right
go.
now.
I like
That's
that
a good one.
You did good.
Should I just keep
Who
that
are
one?
these angels?
Oh, these angels we're talking about?
Yeah.
They're not Charlie's angels. They're Chia's angels. And we're talking about our Patreon supporters because we want to thank you specifically, namely, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Shan, Fawn, Danielle, Rachel, Lindsay, Pam, and Jared. Thank you so much for being Patreon supporters.
And anonymous.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was waiting this time because last time I had to redo it. So thank you for your donations. Thank you for helping us. And also, somebody signed up that just wants to stay anonymous. That's cool. They're definitely our kind of people because part of their tier is they get a free t-shirt. And I reached out and said, hey, I know you want to stay anonymous. That's completely understandable. Is there a specific place you'd like for me to send your t-shirt so that way you can still get all the perks of being in this tier. And they said give it to someone in need.
Aw.
So Anonymous, you're great,
nice.
and you are an angel. And please disregard the whole nightmare dream part.
You're just an angel.
You're just an
Making
angel.
dreams come true.
Make it. Oh no! It's a full circle. Man.
I'm just saying that I don't think it's a bad segue unless you're trying to tell us that you only have certain type of dreams.
All right, so here's what we're just gonna keep moving. If you want to be a Patreon supporter and not be creeped out by us, that almost makes it sound like if you're not giving us money, I'm gonna creep you out. That's not what I mean at all. If you would like to, if you'd like to support the show,
and just knock on the window and look.
What kind of dreams do you have? Hey, I'm Jake from Laugh and Be Blessed. Tell me about your dreams. I don't want to hear the nightmares. The other ones are the ones I'm interested in. If you would like to be a Patreon supporter, at this point, why would you? Why would you not? Here's the thing.
Keep this madness going.
Oh, if you would like to help us out, just go to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. And there's 3 different tiers that you can be a part of. There's the $3 a month, the $10 a month, and the $20 a month. All 3 of them help out tremendously, and all 3 of them have different perks for you specifically, including free merch. So you get free t-shirts, you get to be the first to know about new merch, all kinds of stuff, and we're going to tweak those things. We still have to sit down with Chia and figure out what we want to do. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll get a free postcard from us, That would be creepy.
Oh, that'd be cool if we had postcards.
Let's do it. Let's just do postcards. Why not?
This sounds expensive.
Nah, we'll figure it out. And you know what? Even if it is expensive, it's okay. Because we have Patreon supporters.
That's true.
It's Patreon. It's just a website that allows you to help artists like us continue to do the thing that we love, which is argue on podcasts, delete it, and start over, and then make everyone uncomfortable.
But we did it together.
We did. You planted the seed of creep, and I just blossomed into this weirdo and knocked on windows at night. So weird.
A lot of windows to knock on, geez.
Yeah, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time.
Do every window every night, or are you gonna have
no,
a rotation?
I'm not Santa.
Okay.
It's like I feel like you're painting the image of a creepy Santa. What if Santa just one day was just like, you know what? Voyeurism. Oh. He's just like, no more gifts. I'm just gonna start peeking through windows.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
I never realized that Santa is a creep.
Yes.
It turns out he's creeping.
Yeah.
Wow, what a creep. Mm-hmm. What a creepy thing.
Like.
It's just, the whole thing is just full of creep. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Maybe that's why, by the time because I don't hear a lot of 13, 14-year-olds talking about their gifts from Santa. Mm-hmm. So now I'm starting to think only little kids get those. So maybe there's a reason why by the time you become a teenager, he's like, you don't get anything anymore.
Maybe he's just like, I don't want to watch you. I don't want to watch you awake or sleeping.
So kids,
I feel like you are getting real, like you're towing that line of clean this episode. Listen, to where you're just like, here's the line, and I'm gonna walk it.
We're talking about very, very normal, natural things here.
Did you just Jim's dad me from American Pie? Oh, that's great. Hey, guess what? Because of our Patreon supporters, you heard their names earlier. That's our family. We love them very much. We don't peek in their windows. Because of them, Chi's going to get her own microphone. We're ordering it this week. We're very excited about it. So thank you very much. If you want to see how creepy I do look, and it's not in your windows, you can come see me at a show. February 13th, I'm going to be in Henderson, Kentucky. February 16th, I'm going to be at Smokestack Brew House in Mishawaka, Indiana. I'll be with Andy Beningo there. February 19th, I'm going to be at the Evansville Comedy Competition. That's in Indiana. And then February 25th, I'm going to be in Owensboro, Kentucky, opening for Dave Dugan. If you need any specifics about those shows, please go to our Facebook page, Jake Rubel's Blessed Ones, and you can find all the information there. Or just like my Facebook comedy page, which is just Jake Rubel. So, I feel better.
Good.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a lie.
You'll never know.
Yeah, I think I'll know. So, getting back to I've been in a funk. I've been in a weird place. I've been, and whenever I get these ways, I get a couple of things happen. Number one, I quit sleeping, I quit sleeping, and which is not good and unhealthy and doesn't help. I should take a sleeping pill tonight. I do have them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, like I have natural sleeping pills that my doctor gave me. They're the most natural sleeping pills I guess you can get other than melatonin, and like they're what's it called?
Habit forming?
Yeah, there it is. Look at you. I was gonna say non-forming habit, and I was like, that sounds weird. I'd like to be a form. I like to be a form. I don't want to be non-formed. This will turn into goo. It's gonna be a habit where you turn into goo.
On what's that movie called?
Altered States.
No, with the emotions.
Oh,
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
They go through that dimensional world where it changes them.
So, been in a funk. Chia did a wonderful, amazing thing for me for my birthday. So I just turned 34.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, on Groundhog's Day. And
I had to work.
she had to work, which is cool. That's fine. I wasn't going to make a big deal out of my birthday this year. I actually never try to. I always try to just be like, nope, no big deal.
And I do.
Because it's really not a big deal to me. I mean, I feel like once you hit like the big numbers, it doesn't matter anymore.
20.
Yeah, it's like what you do, 20, 21 if you drink. We don't drink. I was done drinking by 21.
I was pregnant when I was 21.
So it's just kind of like, yeah, once you hit like 20 and you're just like, well, I'm in my 20s, I think everything's okay. And then you hit like, maybe like 24 and 25, you're kind of like, well, I'm in my mid-20s, so I'm a little bit more of an adult. No. But by then we had kids.
Yeah.
So by then we were just like, oh, we don't want to do the adult thing anymore. So
30,
I didn't mind.
30 was a good one for me. I loved turning 30.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like that, I always thought, oh, when I'm 18, I'll feel like an adult, and that didn't happen. So I thought 2021, that didn't happen. I thought, well, maybe 25. Still didn't happen. I still felt like a little kid. 30 hit, and I was like, maybe this is the year I'll finally feel like an adult. And then it didn't happen when I turned 30 until about 2 months later. And I really quit caring so much about what other people thought about me. And I was like, oh, this is it. Now, I still don't feel like a full-fledged adult. Like, I work with some nurses that are in their 20s, and we all wear masks, so I can't gauge people's ages very well anyways, especially with the mask. And I would swear they're all older than me because they're, like, super mature and have their life together.
Look at us.
Oh, God.
Look at us.
They're like, I'm 24 and I have my bachelor's. I'm working on my master's. I just closed on my first house. It's a 4-bedroom. I'm like, Jesus, God almighty.
Yeah, the only reason we got a nice house is because we bought it from your mom. And the stipulation was she stays.
They're like, yeah, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years, so now that everything's done, we're going to get married, and then we'll talk about having kids in a year or two. I'm like, oh, that's what adults do. Whoops.
Yeah, we didn't really discuss things. We were just like, we're teenagers. Let's just do everything we want to do.
19 years old, I'm going to get married, which I don't regret.
You
I
and baby voice.
I don't know.
I don't regret it at all. I love you.
I don't regret it.
You know, I don't either. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, would it have been nice for us to like be in our 20s and 30s and like live by ourselves, like together, but like in our own house or like a nice apartment or something like that. And I'm like, no, I like what we're doing. I like that we had our kids.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job.
We'll live in separate houses later in life.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. No, but on the same property. Like I want to have like a cabin on our property that I can just escape.
Like cans that go from one window to the other.
You want to do cups on a string?
Yeah. I think it works better with a can though.
Well, you know what?
I'll text you.
I'm not gonna have my phone on me.
Oh my God!
I have no
it's
service.
Like this same thing, like the cans on a string.
It's just texting.
But that's a phone. So is texting like paper airplanes that we?
Yeah.
Oh,
same thing.
Smart.
Check it.
So we write a note and text. I got it. I know what I'm doing with my life.
Oh my gosh.
What were you saying?
I don't know or care at this point. My birthday.
Oh,
you did something cool for me.
Yes. Am I talking about it?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
cool. That'd be cool. You did it.
So every year I have a really hard time trying to figure out what to get Jake for his birthday. We don't really do a Christmas together. We do a Christmas date where we go out to eat and then we go shopping. We don't do Valentine's Day. I think it's silly, but if you like it, that's amazing. Keep doing you. And then there's birthdays. These things are all really hard because we will get each other things throughout the year as we financially can afford it and as it comes up. So, if there's something Jake really wants, I'll be like, give me a few paychecks and we can get it.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But I also like that. I like that we don't feel like we have to have a specific day.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
Like you've just randomly, about a month ago, woke me up with a present. And was just like, hey, I bought you this book.
Yeah.
And it was a sequel to my favorite book, which is Ready Player One.
So I got him Ready Player 2.
And, I'm going to start reading it tonight.
I put it in a little gift bag, put it next to it.
That was great.
That's
I'm going to start reading it tonight. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm going to.
You said it like 3 times.
It's because I'm giving up.
Yeah.
I'm giving up on the Stephen King book
Don't
again.
give up on it. Just put it to the side.
Man,
Just
that's what I
put it
mean.
to the
Well, I
side.
did it with the other one for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it to the side for about 2 years.
No.
I don't know how long, but I need a break.
Read Ready Player 2.
I need a break.
And then read that one again for a couple hundred pages.
Yeah.
And then just switch back and forth.
Yeah.
That. Make it a goal to have it finished by the end of the year. But you just need to read this one Stephen King book by the end of the year.
Okay, so you found a perfect gift.
Yeah. So that was the Ready Player 2?
No.
Oh, okay.
For my birthday.
Oh, yes. So
That's what we call a segue.
that
That has nothing to do with wet dreams. Although, it's circle of life.
So I decided maybe an experience that doesn't help what you just said.
I feel like we're never going to get past this. All of us just need to understand and know at this point, this podcast has gone off the rails. There is no bring it back. No one's driving this thing. That's the issue. Is that usually Chia tries to keep me under control, and I think she's in a weird place now because we got in a fight and stopped the other one, and now she's scared that she's gonna say something wrong or upset me, so she's being really, really reserved.
But now it's...
But that's bad because now...
It's backfiring.
Yeah, because she's being the one.
Okay. Anyways, there's no other way to say it, so I'm just going to keep talking.
It's
so
fine.
I thought an experience would be better, which I meant like taking him out to go do something fun. So
Like a day.
Yeah.
Just a day.
So I was going to keep this secret. I really was. So one thing we've talked about doing a lot is going to the Salt Cave here in Bloomington and just... It's good halotherapy. You breathe in like the salty air, and it's supposed to be good for meditation and everything. We've talked about this a lot, and I thought, oh, I'll do that. And so I got a hold of his mom to make sure she could pick up the kids on Thursday, and it had to be Thursday because I worked Tuesday night, so I'd be too tired Wednesday. So I wanted all of Wednesday to get myself flipped to days, and then I would be, available all day Thursday to go have fun and not be a drag. So I got a hold of his mom. We talked about doing dinner at her house. I told her what we were doing. I wanted to do the Salt Cave, and I couldn't think of another thing to do. Like, I had ideas, but I thought, oh, they were too expensive, or we might not like them. So I just paid for the Salt Cave, and it was going to be that, and lunch, and the game store. And 2 days before we were supposed to go, I was getting really excited, and I kept going, well, we have to go out on Thursday.
No, that's not true. That's not... For a month, I feel like you kept saying...
It wasn't a month, maybe a week.
No, it was longer than that. It was a few weeks. It was the whole time you've been planning it. You kept going, I wish there was something to do on your birthday. You're like, I just feel so bad because I'm not getting you anything. And it was so not a big deal to me that I wasn't registering what was happening.
I wanted to bring him way down and
Jeez.
Well, that way when I elevated you, it'd be like a big high. I want to be like, oh, sweetie, it'd be like, what?
That is like...
I had to kick you down.
No, that is creepy. Because I feel like that's the kind of stuff that whenever you really, really... I feel like you've done this before, where you're like really into a guy, and you're like, I just want him to notice me, so I'm gonna stage like getting mugged by somebody so he can rescue me. It's almost like that, like on Mr. Deeds. It's like it's close to that.
I mean, I just.
It's
know
like
how
you're
to work
setting
the
up
system.
scenarios to be a hero.
Yes.
And it makes you a villain.
But no, it worked.
You're Homelander from The Boys.
Oh, don't say that.
That was too far, and I apologize.
That was too far. Ugh. Anyways, so I was getting really, really excited, and
I wish there was something to do on your birthday. You kept saying it and kept saying it.
I pushed it too far. I did it a little bit too much. And so he started guessing, and I got real excited.
I was walking through the door, and we were not having a conversation. We weren't even nothing. And you just go, oh, I just wish there was something to do on your birthday. And I turned and looked at you, and I was like, what are you planning? Because I was worried you were going to do a surprise party.
No.
And I didn't. And I'm in a weird place. I didn't want to be around people.
No.
So I was like, can we not?
COVID-y out there still.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want. We're not meeting people for dinner or anything, are we? And you're like, that's not what we're doing. And then I was like, oh, we're going to play the game where I have to guess. And I never would have guessed it.
No, you did guess it, though.
Did I?
Yeah, because you were like, are we doing like a spa day? And I was like,
oh, yeah, yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but I ended up learning it a few days before, and I'm like trying to text his mom real fast, and like, I'm gonna blab, I'm gonna say something, and she wasn't texting me back fast enough to stop me, and it was too late. So Pam, it's all your fault.
Don't blame her. You did this.
It's all your fault. She was saying, don't stop as I was saying it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and so we talked about doing that. And he reminded me of something else that I'd kind of thought about doing, but I hadn't looked it up yet, which was the float therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and booked an appointment for that. So on the 4th, 2 days after his birthday, we went to the Salt Cave, which was amazing.
Okay, so if you're local, here, I want to explain something about the Salt Cave. It is if you're even a little bit into like meditation or just needing some sort of relaxation, just needing an escape, it is the perfect place. You walk into it's just a small room. I felt like I was sitting back too far. It's just like a small room that you walk into. It's the size of our bedroom probably. It's not a big room.
Yeah, no.
And the entire floor is salt rock. Mm-hmm. The whole floor is the Himalayan salt rock. Mm-hmm. And there's just 2 chairs in there. There's a bunch of yoga mats everywhere. There are these little lights coming from the ceiling that make it look like stars that kind of like glow and then go dim and then glow and then get dim. And the person who runs it is a wonderful, wonderful person. Very happy that we got to meet them. Did a great job of making us feel very relaxed and welcomed. So they leave the room and close us in it and put on just a little bit of music.
We gotta choose our music.
We gotta choose our own music, so we just went with just Native American flute music because it's very calming and just relaxing. And we just stayed in there for an hour. We just like had an hour where we just got to sit in there. And the cool thing is that they have a generator that crushes salt and pumps it into the room, so you're actually breathing in salt air, which is supposed to be very, very good for your sinuses and just overall health.
And it was, wasn't it?
I felt
don't have
great.
a lot of sinus issues.
I have sinus.
Jake does.
Yeah, I have a lot of sinus issues, and I've not been able to breathe like that in a long time. It didn't last very long, honestly. Yeah. It lasted about a day, and then it just kind of slowly started coming back. But man, it was worth it just for that day. It's $25 a person. It's not expensive.
You can have up to 4 people in the cave. Mm-hmm. It was really nice. I took my book in, and, as I told all of you, I have a little light that I clip onto my book for, reading here at night. So we had her turn the lights down almost completely off.
Right.
And I had that light, and I just sat in the lawn chair. It's like those zero gravity.
Yeah, zero gravity chairs. Yeah, really comfortable chairs.
Oh, yeah. I sat there and read, and she gave me a little heating pack that I put behind my neck and some hot stones that I put on my chest and my stomach. After a while, I got up and I went and kind of played in the salt, like I covered my feet up.
Like it was
draw
sand.
Designs. very
relaxing, super, like,
nice.
when we left, I felt just mentally clear. I felt so good when
Yeah.
we left, and I really, really needed that. 5 stars. I
Yeah.
gave it 5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. So we left there, and then we wanted to go to lunch.
Yeah.
And Chia said, it was my day. I can choose anything I wanted, but she was just honest with me, because, like, if it's my day and I can go anywhere I want, I'm not going to want to go anywhere she doesn't want to go.
Right.
And same with her. Like, if she's choosing that day, she's not going to she's not going to say, let's go to the Olive Garden, because I really don't like the Olive Garden.
I wouldn't say that anyways.
I'm just, that's the only place I can think of that I really don't like.
Well, I don't either.
Yeah, but we like, it's not going to work because we like most of the same stuff.
Right.
I'm using an example.
Okay, so
You're
we're
not going to
pretending
say
I
something.
love Olive Garden.
We did not have to say that. No one even knows how you feel about it. I was just throwing it out there. I'm not a big fan.
Sorry, my bad.
So you wouldn't suggest that.
No.
I would never suggest Cracker Barrel.
No.
You don't really care for Cracker Barrel, even though Roman loves eating there, which is so weird. I don't mind eating there, but Chia doesn't like it, so I just would never recommend that. So we wanted something light. My mom was cooking us dinner. We didn't really want anything that was going to be like bogging us down for the whole day, because I had another very fun experience coming up. So we went to Laughing Planet, I think is what it's called, Laughing Planet Cafe. Mm-hmm. It's just off Kirkwood, downtown Bloomington. It's just a small little place. I got a broiled chicken burrito with no cheese.
Yes.
I'm working on this whole no dairy thing, and it's going great.
I'm not, because I got a chicken and cheese quesadilla.
But dairy doesn't do the same thing to you that it does to me. Dairy makes me bloated, like really bad, and just makes me feel uncomfortable. And this whole day was supposed to be like completely about mentally and physically feeling great. Mm-hmm. So we went and ate there. I was super impressed. Mm-hmm. I've heard people talk about it. Good. Oh, wow.
We inadvertently, of course, not mean to at all, had a whole day where we also supported small businesses.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah. I love that. I love that we did.
But
yeah.
It was great.
So we went there. Highly recommend it. Mm-hmm. It was great. They had Frank Zappa posters all over the walls, that's wonderful. I'll eat there. And then we left there and we went to the Game Preserve in Bloomington. So they've changed anyone who's local. Game Preserve is no longer downtown Bloomington. Now it is just outside of the College Mall. So it's right next to Melody Music. It's in between the entrance to the mall and Fresh Time. So it's right in that little strip there. And went in there. A guy I went to high school with named Tyler is the manager of the place. He's a really nice guy, very knowledgeable with board games, tabletop games. So we got to talk with him a little bit, which was nice. It was like a 20-minute conversation, just kind of catching up. We weren't really close in school or anything, but we just knew each other, and it has always been fine. Like, we've always been fine with each other. We've never had any issues or anything like that. And we've always had, really good friends of mine are also really good friends of his. But for whatever reason, we just never ended up in the same house. Like, we just never really hung out.
Yeah, that's weird.
But we always liked each other. I've always liked him. Hopefully he's always liked me. But we had a good conversation, talked about tabletop games and different things. And then we did end up getting 2 new games. We got Robinson Crusoe, which is a board game I've been wanting to get for a while. We've not opened it up yet because it's very intimidating. And we've just not read up on it. And then Chia got... Codenames. Yeah, Codenames Disney Edition, which was okay. It's a good kids game. I don't see us playing it together.
No.
But it's good for whenever a niece and nephew's over. Because we do like to do that. Whenever my nieces and nephews are over, we like to play games with all the kids and stuff. Yeah. We like to be the gaming
just
ones.
Our kids.
Yeah, even our kids. And we go over to my mom's we're trying to go over there once a month now for a game night.
Yeah.
And it's a good game to kind of break out there, but not it's more kiddish. It's more for kids for sure. Yeah. I think the other code names might be kind of cool. Like, it was an entry in because there's a whole variety of code names games. So that's kind of interesting. So so then we left there. Yeah. We got the games. We left
and we went to Serena's. So Serena's is like a health and wellness, I guess, spa.
It's a spa, yeah.
And I had made reservations for Jake to do the float therapy. So I know it sounds weird. It's a float pod therapy. So what it is, it's like this pod that has 160 gallons of water diluted with 800 to 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts. And so you get in there, and it's to provide you the feeling of weightlessness, and it has a whole huge list of benefits. Some of those are to reduce anxiety, which Jake had been having a lot of anxiety, as we've been talking about. It also enhances creativity. He's a writer. He is a comedian. I thought, well, that'll be great for him. And it helps with blood pressure, and Jake had been having some blood pressure issues that we've been really...
Not anymore.
No, not anymore, but we've been trying to be conscious of to continue to do activities and diets that will
We want to keep it normal.
Bring it normal. So we went to do that, and the lady there was absolutely fabulous. She gave us a whole tour. There's all kinds of services they have with the float therapy. There's infrared sauna. There's masseuse there.
Regular sauna.
There's the cryotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
So his pod wasn't ready yet, which meant that we kind of had to wait, and we told her that was completely fine. But while waiting, we got to try, and this sounds hokey, and I always said I'd never do it.
You keep saying that, but I've always wanted to see what it was like.
I know, but working in the healthcare field, I thought, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not really going to do anything. And I was wrong.
We did an oxygen bar.
An oxygen bar, and
which let me explain what it is, because I didn't really know what it was. Because you hear oxygen bar, and I just thought like bar, and it's not. Like you go. It's where this is. Like it was just, and maybe an oxygen bar. Maybe like there's like tables set up where you just hook up to the. I don't know.
So.
What it was is
TV.
that so it's
ours was a much better experience than what I've seen people on TV do.
So it's just pretty much a room where it's just the two of us, and there is just oxygen tanks. Mm-hmm. Really like not normal ones like you see in the hospital. Like they're collared, like they have lights in them and stuff and bubbles, and you can do different scents.
The tank was on the thing on the floor. Those things were kind of like, what it reminded me of is sometimes when we hook people up to oxygen at the hospital, we have to do humidified oxygen.
Okay.
So they don't dry out. And that's what I think that kind of
was. Okay. So I guess it goes from the tank into like a humidifier type deal, and then it goes into your nose. So you just wear a tube on your nose like you would in the hospital. And you just lay back.
Single use.
Yep, single use. And you just lay back and you just breathe. You take in nice deep breaths. You just relax, and it's very relaxing. Mm-hmm. It was very. I was surprised how relaxing it was.
You can have no scent, or there's a couple of different scents. Jake got the eucalyptus, and I got the lavender.
I did eucalyptus because my buddy Dusty Slade told me that he puts. He puts the eucalyptus on his nose like every morning because it just helps to open him up, and it's like this essential oils. He sent me a link to it and told me to check it out, and I'm going to. I just haven't.
Right.
So I wanted it. I was like, well, I'll do that because I have sinus issues, so I'll try that. It was okay, but I think whenever I go back, I'm gonna try it with no scent. So we did that, and then we still had a little bit of time once those were done. So she put us in these
zero gravity massage chairs.
Yeah, massage chairs. And that was nice.
These are insane.
15 minutes of just like...
insane massage chairs. Like, they massage... everything that they are touching. So...
there's like pockets for your arms to go into.
Yeah. Your feet. You can take your shoes off.
Yeah,
your
feet.
The bottoms of your feet get massaged.
Everything from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet.
My butt got a good massage.
Yeah.
For a minute, the massage was just on my butt, and I was like, whoa.
So then once we were done with that, she took me into the room, and
I got to stay in the chill room and read. I read for like 45 minutes.
Did you do the massage chair again?
No.
I would
just
have.
sat there and read.
I'd have done it again.
I would have fallen asleep.
So the float thing was really cool. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Ever since I've seen the movie Altered States, which probably sounds weird because the movie ended really weird. But it just always sounded really unique and like mind-opening and stuff. So it's basically what happens is you go in this room and you strip completely down. You take a shower. And then you get into an isolated chamber. Like you get in this pod.
And they have to where they're open. So
yeah,
you
they're
don't have
open.
to
So
get in a
yeah,
pod.
so you get in and then you close the lid on it, and it's big. It sounds like a coffin. Like I'm not explaining it very well. It's really big and very roomy. It's like a really big bathtub.
Could
It's
you
like the
spread
size
your
of
arms
completely out.
Okay.
I could spread my arms completely out, and I could be in the middle and not touch the
bottom
or the top. Yeah,
okay.
so it was really nice. So you get in there and there's light settings. You can either have all these different lights, or you can make the lights flash slowly or quickly, or you can just shut them off and you can listen to music. You can hook your iPod up to it, or you can just listen to their music, which is what I did, or you can shut the music off. And I started off with a little bit of light, very just dim lights, and their music. And 15 minutes into it, I bet, I shut everything off and was completely in pitch black, the darkest I've ever been in, and no sound whatsoever. It was complete silence. But my ears are underwater because I'm floating.
Yeah.
So my body's completely floating. The only thing above the water pretty much is my face. Everything else is just floating on the water.
You're not sinking down.
You're not sinking down at all. You're not bobbing. You're not having to hold yourself in a position.
I was gonna say
you're just
having
there.
to make an effort to keep yourself
No,
above
not
water.
even a little bit.
Okay.
You're just floating.
Wow.
Now they make it sound like you're like weightless, like floating in space. Not really. Like you can feel the water. You know what's going on. Like like it doesn't take like you don't get taken out of the reality of what's happening. But I will say this, while I was in there, my arms are completely outstretched and I'm just floating, and I was thinking that to myself, and I lifted one of my arms up to move, and it felt so weird.
Yeah.
Because
like
heavy because I wasn't moving any muscles at all that whole time because I wasn't having to. It was just like, even whenever you're laying in bed, you're still kind of like moving yourself, and you're positioning yourself to where you're holding yourself maybe on your left side a little bit more, your right side a little bit more. You're always using muscles a little bit.
Right.
But whenever you're in this, you're not using anything. You're completely stationary.
Yeah.
And it was really, really nice. And I got a lot of thinking done. And I will say this, it was an hour long. I probably could have got out at 45 minutes.
Right.
And maybe next...
You said the same thing about the salt cave. It was 45 minutes, and you thought about
half
30,
hour.
35 minutes.
Yeah.
And I could have been in the salt cave longer.
I just feel like but I'm going into these things with a mindset. Like, I'm going in here to get this thing. So then when I get it, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
You're done.
Like with the salt cave, I was like, well, I'm going in here to clear my mind and feel peace. And the moment that I got it, I sat in it for about 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I got what I wanted. I'm just going to go carry this with me throughout the day now.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with the flow. It's just like, yeah, this is good. Like, I like this, but I think I'm done. At one point, I did get the water in my eye.
Yeah.
And it burned so bad. And she But the issue is that I did something. I think my hair moved or something. Like, I moved my head over or something, or leaned up to turn on the light. I did something, and it went down my face from my hair and went into my eye.
Yeah.
So I will definitely go back.
Yeah.
It's going to be a monthly visit.
And we'll be using their other services.
Yeah, I'm going to try the cryo thing. It sounds terrifying. It's 3 minutes of like the coldest you can possibly imagine.
I think she said negative 200.
Like negative 200 or something like that. That's not what your body's going to get, but it's like that's the air that comes out or something like that for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you get in the shower.
And she says that
no one wants to do it.
No one wants
to
do it.
Everyone comes back.
It feels awful while you're doing it, but they come back because of the benefits.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into anything that is going to make me feel better mentally and physically. Yeah. And that's why it was like the perfect birthday. You did so good.
Aww.
It was very good.
We
Even
went
though
one place after that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. Okay. Even though like mentally today it kind of started to come back.
At least you had a break that day. I
had a break, and this won't last. This is just a bunch of stuff piled up on us this morning, and it's just stuff that is material, and we'll get over it.
Some new, it's not awful news, but we had some news this morning that kind of put a damper on us. And
it's the whole unemployment thing that we talked about a few episodes back. They're trying to come back at me now for the full amount again, for no reason. And it's very frustrating to me.
There's nothing consistent. And again, I understand that they gave us this money. That's great. But every single week, Jake filled out his unemployment with the idea of maybe I'll get accepted, maybe not. And when you get accepted, you just assume people know their job and they're doing it correctly. So now we feel like we're being punished because someone didn't do their job correctly.
Yeah, and
that's that's what sucks. It's like we didn't do anything dishonest or wrong.
Right. So I'm just trying to stay positive about it and say, we'll call them tomorrow. We'll see if we can set up a payment plan with them and see if just see what happens. But I'm sick and tired of just letting other things dictate how I feel all the time. And this is a big thing, and I'm going to set the goal for it. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to accomplish it. And then here's what I will say. I was always told nothing is free. Mm-hmm. I was always told that nothing in life is free. And when this whole thing happened, I was told by multiple people to apply. Mm-hmm. And I fought it for about a month. Yeah. And I kept telling everybody, no, I'm not going to do it. We'll be okay. I'll figure it out. I'll find work somehow. Everything's going to be okay. And then I let people talk me into it against my better judgment. And now it's just the way I'm looking at it is it's proof that nothing's free. Right. It's that no one's gonna take care of us but us, and that's that's okay. Yeah. And this is a good lesson for me to teach my kids later on. Yeah. That you work for what you want, and things will always be better. So we left there. I felt great. I felt so good when we left there. Like I felt just inside out completely renewed. Mm-hmm. It did its job. Oh, good. It really did. And I felt good until this morning. So, it lasted all weekend. And that's the thing is there is no quick fix. No. Nothing's going to make you feel better forever. Mm-hmm. It's just, that really helped to center me. And to help you, like you just said, get centered, and you got to build off of those tools. Yeah. So then we went to we went to the bookstore. We went to half price books. Yes. And I love it. Yeah, we just got a stack of books. Yeah, we just got a stack of books. I got a couple new Stephen King books that I'll never read. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'll probably read them. I'm gonna try a little. No one can hear you with your head turned. I'm gonna try a little bit. Oh shoot! Why don't you just break everything? It's just deodorant. Oh. I don't need it. Yes, you do. I'm not you. No, I'm kidding. Historical fiction. Okay. I've had a lot of people bringing up historical fiction lately, and I like it when I see it on TV. So I thought, well, I'll try to read some. So I got one about Evita. Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know what books you got. Oh, I got that, and I got some Anne Rice books. I seen the Anne Rice ones. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. So we did that. That was good. Oh, we found a score there too. We found Game of Thrones, the card game. An expansion that's normally like $25 in the package, sealed, never opened, for $5. Yeah. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we don't have the Game of Thrones card game. We have the expansion now when we do get it. Yeah, so we're just gonna buy it now. Yeah. So there's that. That's how we get you. So then we went to my mom's house for my birthday, and Jake like the no. Mom said that she was gonna make me my favorite dinner. Mm-hmm. For my birthday. Yes. And it just so happens I have two favorite things that my mom makes. Her taco salad and her homemade pizza. So like the true mama's boy he told her he wanted both, and she repeatedly told him no. I even made a joke with her about making both, and she said no, that she wasn't doing it. So she did. So we showed up. My mom's pizza though. We live in Indiana. My mom's pizza. That needs to be a brand. My mom's pizza. It probably is. Everybody around here likes either thin crust or just like New York style pizza. That's everybody's style of pizza. And I will say that New York is the best pizza I've ever had other than my mom's homemade pizza. Mom does deep dish style. Yeah. It's like a pizza lasagna. Yeah. It's the best. It is so good. And her taco salad's amazing. Yeah. It was a great night. So I ate way too much. And I did have cheese. I ate way too much, but I've been eating pretty good. I've been eating good all week on purpose, just so I could do that. We both lost weight recently. We did. I wasn't going to talk too much about that because I don't want people to be like expecting it. You know what I mean? Well, no, it's fine. Go ahead. It's out of the bag. That's all I was saying is that we did. Yeah, we both. Chia she killed it in weight loss. And it's not even that we're like actively trying.
I mean,
so
I
much
am,
so.
and I'm not. I'm not like.
We're just living a different life.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
changed a lot
dieting.
of things I ate, and because my job is an active job as it is, once I changed a lot of things in my diet, it kind of just evolved, and I lost weight.
Here's a fun fact. This is our 1-year anniversary episode.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I wanted to wait an hour until we were into it before I said anything.
Okay.
No, I hadn't thought about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. 1 year ago today, you brought a microphone and a laptop into our bed and said, let's do a podcast.
Pretty much.
And I laid my head on the pillow and said, sure.
Yeah, basically that's what happened. We're like right around a year. It was like a year this week or something like that. So I would not have known that if it hadn't been for Kate. Kate runs our Jake Rules Blessed Ones group on Facebook and is a wonderful person. So, Kate, thank you for everything that you do.
Kate.
Thank you. We were going to have Kate on this show just to kind of like celebrate together like the 1 year, but it's midnight.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have a normal schedule. It was going to be... And it was just going to be hard to do. And not only that, but I also forgot until like Thursday, I think. And then I texted her and was like, I'm sorry. But I completely spaced it. But Kate's wonderful. Kate is great. And most of the stuff that you see on Jake Rules Blessed Ones is from Kate.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that you see on there is her. Anything you see with upcoming shows that I'm doing and stuff like that is usually hers. Doing just out of the kindness of her heart. So thank you for being awesome, Kate. We love you so much. Thank you. And this week's sponsor of the podcast is Soulshine Studios.
Woo!
Anyone who knows me knows that I always wear tie-dye shirts. Always. I just like them. They are unique. They're vibrant. I just like the colors. And they're usually Grateful Dead shirts. But every now and then, the Grateful Dead shirts I wear, other people have. For the most part. I do have a couple of them that are pretty unique. But most of them are like, just, just what people do. If I want to wear something like unique that I know no one else has, I'm wearing a tie-dye made by Soulshine Studios.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've made them with them. Soulshine Studios is the one that does all of our merch for the show and for my stand-up. So if you want a custom shirt, just go to Facebook and look up Soulshine Studios, and you're welcome. They're great. They're priced very competitively, I guess you could say. A lot of the tie-dyes I see are expensive.
Yeah.
Because hours go into one tie-dye.
Yeah.
Like one shirt is hours of work because it's all done by hand. And dye is expensive. So they ship everywhere in the country. So yeah, go get you a unique shirt. And they're great. You can either have one custom made or you can look and see the inventory that they have. So go to Facebook, check it out. Thank you for being this week's sponsor. We don't really have a topic of the show this week. We were going to do like favorite stories, but we're an hour in.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of covered the things that we needed to.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. I feel like we have grown as a couple. Yeah. I feel like once the podcast is off, the conversation starts back up with you. I can see it in your eyes. You're just like, no, I love you. Shut up the mic. And then you're going to be like, listen, now that you're in a better mood, don't ever act like that again. No. Are we still going to play a game? We didn't talk about games.
No.
We didn't, did we? We passed right over that.
No.
Should we do it?
It's up to you.
I mean, we always talk about them.
Talk about it.
If you want to listen to the games, stay tuned.
Here we are.
So every week we play a game and then a board game of some sort, and then we talk about it on the podcast. It's mostly for us. We like doing it. Some people enjoy it. We have had a lot of people ask us questions like, hey, where do you get all your games at? I think we just explained earlier in the show where we get our games at.
Game Preserve.
Game Preserve is usually where we go. There is another place in Bloomington that I am going to check out. A friend of mine, Jordy, told me about another place. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't either.
It might just be called the Game Room.
I I think so.
It's something like that. They've been closed every time that I've went there because our hours just are not syncing up.
No.
And again, I know Tyler, so I know the
Yeah.
guy who manages the Game Preserve, and I like helping him out.
Yeah.
You know, not that he needs it because they're doing really good.
Yeah.
It is a great location. I love the new location of the Game Preserve.
I love going there because their variety is so great.
Well, they have a great variety, but also I don't want to sound rude. I don't want to sound rude.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. That was rude. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you. You're so pretty. Go ahead.
Just say what you were going to say.
I'd rather hear yours.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay. So the nice thing there, and I don't want to sound rude about this, but a lot of times when you go to a game store, and we try to go to one like whenever we're in a different town or something, we like to pop into them. And a lot of times, if it's the owner in there or something, they're really, really helpful. They're really, really nice. Every now and then, whenever you go into a game store, you'll get someone who almost looks down on you because you don't speak their language.
Right.
And we don't. We love games, and I do think we have a pretty good grasp on a lot of games.
Now.
But we're not. Yeah, but we're still pretty new to like this whole world. So, I think sometimes you almost feel like a nuisance when you're asking like beginner questions to somebody, like, "Oh, well, what's this mean?" or "What kind of game is that?" I'll say that it's not as bad as the comic book world. I found in the comic book world, whenever I go to a comic book shop, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because I'll ask questions. One time I went to a comic book shop. It was whenever I first really started getting into comics. And I liked the Walking Dead comic. I liked the black and white, almost like it just looked like pencil and paper.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that art. And I went up to the guy and said, "Hey man, I like this comic book a lot. Do you recommend anything that has the same kind of art?" And he goes, "That's surprising. Most people think that art's stupid." And I was like, "Okay, I don't want to be here now."
Yeah.
Like, I just thought that was really weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Especially, like, with the Walking Dead comic. Like, obviously not if now they made a whole show based on it.
And the simpleness to the art is what I like about it. That's what's pleasing.
Well, yeah, and obviously
Other
a
people
lot of
thought
people
so too.
feel like that.
And I was basically just
sold.
saying, are there any other black and white comics that look like
this style?
This style. Yeah. And all he had to do is just be like, "Oh yeah, sure, we got a couple more." He's just like, "Oh, that's stupid." And it's like, okay. So anyways, Game Preserve's not like that.
No.
When you go in there, they're
great.
happy to talk to you. We went in there last year, and we were kind of curious about Magic the Gathering because we see people playing Magic the Gathering or Pokemon and stuff like that, and we're kind of like, well, we kind of want to get into like a card game like that, but we don't know anything about it. I have friends who play Pokemon, and I've tried it, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. It's very... And nothing against anyone who plays it, but it's just... It's not, I don't like the art. I don't care for any Pokemon. I was never into Pokemon. It's not a thing for me. Were you looking for the Magic cards?
Yeah, where are they?
They're right there. They're up there beside the Wii.
Oh, okay. And that thing?
Yeah, behind that. They're in our little plastic things that we bought for them.
They're all in those?
No, the other ones are behind the games over there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, so they're really helpful. We went in there and was like, "Hey, what's up with this?" I was like, "Man, I hate to be this guy, but like, what is the deal with this Magic the Gathering?" I said, "I've heard about it since like middle school," and he goes, "Oh yeah, man, it's a great game," and he was so pleased to be talking about it. That's what I liked.
Well, that's what I don't understand is like if you supposedly like this world, don't you want to share it?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people, and I'm not talking about in board games or comics, I'm just saying in hobbies in general, there's almost this whole I'm smarter than you about this one thing feeling that you get from people sometimes, to where it's just like, oh, well, I know this and you don't. It's like a superiority thing.
That like because those things are considered nerdish, that maybe they got a hard time in school growing up, so now they've built up a wall about it.
There are people that are like that. I've heard them say that.
Yeah.
They're like, because I was never...
Like they get on the defense right away.
Well, I've heard people say stuff like, the guy who used to beat me up for wearing, Ninja Turtles shirts in 8th grade is now on Facebook talking about how much he loves the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why are you allowed to do it now?
Yeah.
And I get that mentality, but at the same time, I'm from this camp that says I like this thing.
Yeah.
If you like this thing and you support it with your wallet, I'll get more of this thing.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it. Like, I like comic books.
Yeah.
Right? And if you buy comic books, they'll keep making comic books, which means I keep getting comic books.
It doesn't matter if, like, at one point you made fun of people for getting comics and now you're into it. Great. Because now they're going to keep that
Also, though,
going.
that's also good. You converted someone.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't, someone else converted someone to where now the thing that you like is more normal.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. More mainstream.
Yeah, which some people might hate, but now it makes it more accessible to everybody.
Well, also, if we didn't have all that, we wouldn't have the Avengers movies, and we would have WandaVision.
Exactly. WandaVision's so good.
I like it. Every episode. People did not like the beginning of it, but we're getting so off track. I like it, though. I'm having a good conversation with you. I love you.
I love you.
If people stopped listening at this point, we're hanging out.
Good for them.
Wait.
No, I'm kidding.
It's like, no. So, what I was getting at, the guy at Game Preserve, though, was, like, super cool with us. He explained what it was. He didn't show us how to play it, but I bet he would have if we asked.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that they actually do there, from what I'm to understand. They have a big game room now.
I don't know how well they're doing it right now with
because
COVID,
of COVID, sure.
But they do have, with their new location, they have a big room, like you were getting ready to say. And so hopefully they're starting those back up.
I'm actually going to get a hold of Tyler.
Have plans.
I'm going to get a hold of him and see if he knows anyone who can teach us how to play Descent.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little intimidated by it.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if we start getting people like that to kind of...
Yeah.
We can just be like, hey, can we just come in for a game night and play a game with you?
What I love about this is I didn't realize that there's a lot of games out there that are campaign games. Mm-hmm.
Which Descent is.
That takes can take quite a few people.
Yeah. To where it's like you have... A perfect example is... last night I went over to my buddy Chris's house and we had our D&D night. Once a month we all get together and we play D&D. And there's like 5 of us or something like that, 4, 5, 6 of us. It depends on who all is able to show up. But we continued our quest from last month.
Yeah.
So we just did a new quest. So it's a campaign that is played out over a series of quests. And we have 5 games that are like that in our collection that we've never really played because we don't really do that. Now, I did play Hero Realms solo mode. Yeah. I think I talked about it last week. And that is a series of quests. That's a campaign. That's a series of quests.
Because it took me a while to really understand what this meant. So to kind of maybe help other people. Say you're playing a video game. Yeah. And you got an objective at the end to beat the entire video game, but there's all these side quests you got to do.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great analogy. I mean, and that's really what it is. You got to get
from point A to point B. However, there's all these,
well, also,
side things you got to do.
There's side things, but then there's also there's the road from A to B. Mm-hmm. But from A to B, you also have A.1, A.2, B.3, like all these other things that you can be doing. And that's where I really want to play Descent because it's a dungeon crawler. So it is a game that's kind of like D&D where you have these adventures and you're going on a campaign and you flip these cards over and stuff like that. And we love card games. Mm-hmm. Like any game that has to do with cards. And that's what I like about that is there's no dice. Mm-hmm. And I like dice. Don't get me wrong,
I don't know how I feel about dice shit.
I like them, but I like them because they can really
like standard dice.
No. There are dice in that game. Maybe. Now I don't remember. See, I feel like there
standard dice, like when you play Betrayal.
Roll for the Galaxy doesn't have any dice. I looked up 2 games tonight, so I'm confused. That's why I was confused by
Betrayal.
Yeah, the dice in that. Yeah,
that's fine. I'm still having trouble with the concept of a D12 and a D8 and a D20.
You know what? It really all it is. It's changing what the chance of you rolling a high or low number is. That's all it is. So, like, if you have a D6, that just means that it's a 6-sided dice. So, D for dice,
I know
6.
that,
but then it's like, so the highest number you can get 6. Yeah. So if that is if your D6 is your attack die, you'll roll that D6, and the highest attack you can get is a 6 on it. If you roll a D20, the highest attack you can get on that is a 20. Yeah. So that's why there's different dice. So that way your attack's not as much on, a goblin or something that may not have as high of hit points. Yeah. So that's kind of the way. That's why they do all that. And I do understand that it gets. Like, playing with all these guys that have never done anything like this before, and they keep, like, yelling that the die, they're like, why can't I just use the same dice? And it's like, well, I mean, I get it, but, like, let's just use this one. But we love, like, our love of games is getting deeper and deeper and deeper, too. Yeah. This has been the first, like, a lot of times whenever I get into a hobby, Chia gets into it with me, like, comic books, like she started getting... Yeah, she started getting, like whenever I'd go, she'd buy some Wonder Woman or Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey. Like, she would always get like her comic book too, and then we'd read them together. But she wasn't like fiending for it like I was. Like, I was going online and looking up like, oh man, well, like what's the backstory here? I want this whole story run, all that kind of. Well, she does that too. We like a complete set of things. Yeah.
But I wasn't like. No, it wasn't like fiending for it. Like you said, like I love games. That's what I was going to say a minute ago about the Game Preserve is I remember going in there years ago. Because I loved the way like it looks in there with all the games lined up. It just looks so cool. And I'd be like, let's go in there and buy a game. And I'd go in and look for a minute and be like, nope.
Yeah, just overwhelming.
Because I'm like, this is not Monopoly.
Yeah. It just, yeah. We did go on a date there like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We went on a date and we stopped in there and we looked around and we got really intimidated and left. I forgot.
Out. Yes.
Because we came in the back way.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And that's funny.
I looked at that store so many times driving by and I thought, oh, let's just go buy a game. And then it just looked too intimidating.
Well, and that's the nice thing is that it must have been an off night whenever we went in there because now you go in and if you have that like deer in the headlights look,
I think it was around Christmas, so
they'll
it was
help.
busy.
Yeah. Because like as soon as we walked in the other day, they were like, "Hey, how you guys doing? You have any questions? Sorry about the mess. We just moved in. Like all this stuff."
Yeah.
It was really, really good. It was just great. And that's what I was getting at. I like that we're into the same hobby now. You know, we'll watch a YouTube video and somebody will have this whole shelf of games behind them and she is like, oh, look, there's that game. Oh, we have that one. We have that one. Oh, we need that one. What's that one? And we'll pause it and she'll start looking.
15 years, but we figured it out.
Yeah, you look like you're getting really tired. You're like laying your head down.
I don't
Drink
know
that coffee.
I did. I have more in there.
So last week, what we were getting at, last week we played, and we do this every week. We play a new game every Sunday night. We do the podcast and we play a game.
Most of the time
we try to.
Game. Sometimes
we
play a game.
Yeah, well, we play a game. I don't think if I said new game, I'm sorry. I meant to just say we just play a game. And we do try to do a new game once a week. Yeah. But sometimes it's just hard because the game, like before, whenever we'd play a new game a year ago, because we've not been doing this that long.
No.
But a year ago, it would just be like, oh, cool, this is a new game. We'd figure it out. We'd be like, okay, cool. Now we're getting into games to where it's like, you need a day to figure this out. Yeah. Like some of the game, I tried to pull out like 3 new games tonight.
Like, that does not sound fun. Once you figure out the game,
it's the best
so
story.
Fun.
Like some of them, you just have so much fun.
Took us quite a while.
Yes.
But we played it last week with Jake's, the week before with Jake's mom and with Junior. Oh, so fun.
Yeah, Junior's my mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
You said that. You like Jake's mom, and then you all know Junior.
You know Junior.
We actually have a video of us talking about Betrayal. If you're into board games and you want to like know more about Betrayal, if you go to YouTube, just look up Let's Talk Games, and Betrayal is on there, where we talk about Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
That's something we want to get back into.
We got
a new camera.
We got a new camera that we're trying to learn how to use. It's way above what we were used to, because we just usually use my phone.
Yeah.
But this new camera is like a really, really nice one, and I'm just trying to figure out how to really work it. So we're going to start doing more of them. But last week we played DC Comics deck builder.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's just called deck. Is that deck building game? DC Comics deck building game.
Where do you see it at?
It's on the second shelf. It's all the way to the left. It's a blue.
I thought it was white.
It is on the other side. I flipped it so they're all facing the same direction.
Okay.
So anyways, it's just a deck building game, which basically means that you have cards in front of you, in between you and your opponent, and you can buy the cards to build your deck as you go along, and you're just trying to either with deck building games, you're usually trying to compete an objective together, or you're trying to destroy your opponent's life points. But this is kind of cool because you're working together to destroy an enemy, but at the same time trying to like trip up your opponent, which would like be Chia, so that way at the end of the game I have the most victory points and win the game.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we're superheroes working together, but ultimately we want the glory in the end.
Right.
It's very fun. It quickly became one of our favorite games. I've played it probably 5 times
I've only
since
played
Sunday.
it once. He keeps playing it with the kids, and
Yeah, shame on me. I really enjoyed it.
Maybe
It was a fun game. I heard a lot of people not like it very much, but we love deck building games though. These are our favorite kind of games. We play Star Realms and Hero Realms probably more than any other game other than Sequence. Those are probably the games that we play the most.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
If you're kind of
we
thinking,
have to take a break from Sequence because Jake's sick of getting beat.
oh, calm
Yeah.
down.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I beat you 3 times in one night the last time I played.
I'm pretty sure that I won last month. Ultimately, the game
Barely.
month.
Barely.
I won. So
Barely.
if you're thinking about maybe like getting into modern gaming, there we go. I never know what to call it.
There you
Modern
go.
gaming. If you're
Modern
thinking
gaming.
into getting into like modern gaming, buy Star Realms.
Yes.
Or just get a hold of us and we'll play. You can get it on your phone. There's an app on your phone called Star Realms, and you can just get the
yeah.
game on your phone and play it there. And if you do, let me know, and we can play against each other because I have it on my phone, and I like that version too. It's a very fun game. I love Star Realms. That's actually the game that we're probably going to play tonight after this. So we played DC Deck Builder. Highly recommend it if you love DC Comics at all. Get it. It's very simple to learn too. But I will say that whenever I first bought it, I looked at the instructions and it was kind of confusing. But now that I've been playing games for a year, I get it, and I picked it up pretty quick. So and there's a lot of
games we catch on pretty fast now. Like the DC
but then there's a lot of them that take it like I don't know. Like there's 2 of them right now that I keep looking at and I'm like I don't understand this. But usually YouTube's good about that. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. But some of the games are so intense and there's so much going on. I need someone who's played it before and just go play a game with them. But we love them. We just love games. So we really want to just give a shout out to Game Preserve.
Yeah.
And just talk a little bit about the games that we've been playing. So if you're into that, again, go to YouTube, look up Let's Talk Games. And it's just, I think we only have like 4 or 5 videos up right now. But they're fun. They're fun videos. We really enjoy doing it.
Yes, we know the lighting's not good.
The lighting's not great. The quality's not the best. The sound is fine. And the content is amazing.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
There you go.
So thank you very much for allowing us to work through some grievances we had with each other on this podcast. It may not have been as uppity as it usually is. We're both pretty tired. We've had a hard week. One very relaxing day that kind of made up for all of it.
Yes.
But the thing is that we could have just said we're not doing a podcast now. We could have just let life get us down. And we almost did, but in the end, we're just like, the podcast is called Laugh and Be Blessed. And a lot of times you have to force the laughter. You have to like put yourself in a position to where you're like, I'm going to be okay with laughing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be a sourpuss about it. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not laughing. Sometimes you just have to let it just happen. And that's what we just did. We just let it happen, and I feel blessed for it.
Yeah.
And we hope you do too.
Yeah.
So, all throughout this week, the whole week, every single day, even whenever you're getting stupid letters in the mail saying that you owe a bunch of money, or if you just feel like you're in a funk, just keep in mind that all you have to do
is laugh and be blessed.